All right, let's try this again then.
Mindful Monday.
Mindful Mondays with K Ham Speaks. And
Necee.
all right,
Happy
we got it.
birthday.
Yes, yay.
Happy Martin Luther King Day. Happy holiday.
Martin Luther King Day. Thanks for bearing with us while we got our camera straight. Hey, Nicole Lyric joined us again. Thank you for coming back, Nicole. So how was your day today, K Ham?
It was awesome. How was your day today?
No problems here. Went out and enjoyed a little bit of the MLK festivities, so that's always a good time.
What did you do to enjoy the MLK festivities?
I went to the Lake Wells MLK parade.
Okay, how was that?
It was awesome. It was awesome. It was great to see so many people out, you know, honoring such a great man who is going to be, we're going to dedicate this show to him today, Martin Luther King. So that's what it's all about. But yeah, it was great. It was great seeing a lot of people getting together. Of course, all the vendors with all the food. You know, I had to eat some of that. So
what did you have? Like, did you try anything new or?
Well, nothing new, but I did have some sauce. Yes, I do eat sauce. I love it. It was great. Hey, Allegra, thanks for watching.
Hey, Allegra.
Yeah, so did anybody get out? And well, I guess before we get into all of that about what we're going to talk about tonight, what's in your cup?
Yes. What's in your cup? What's in your cup tonight? We are, like, we're twinning it.
We're twins.
Water and lemon. Little hydration, you know.
Yes.
Put that lemon in there. Hey, Sherry.
Hi, Cousin Sherry.
Happy MLK Day to everybody that has joined. Don't forget, have a cup.
Put in the comments. Let us know what's in your cup. We really want to know what's in your cup.
Gotta bring your drink.
Yes. Last week, we only had one person to tell us what was in their cup.
Good conversation. It deserves a good drink. So you gotta have a good drink and a good conversation.
I know. I can remember last week, Pat's Hair Palace had wine.
Wine.
So,
okay.
You know, that's cool too.
Yeah, wine, beer, water, juice. Speaking of Pat's Hair Palace, hey, Pat's Hair Palace.
Hey, Pat, what's in your cup tonight, Pat?
Yeah.
In your glass.
What's in your glass? What's in your glass? Let's cheers.
Cheers.
Woo, to Martin Luther King Day, y'all. That's today's topic.
MLK.
We're talking about the life and legacy of Martin Luther King Jr.
Absolutely.
You know, so thank y'all for joining today. We appreciate y'all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And subscribe and comment.
Definitely comment. Weigh in on the conversation.
We want to know. Oh, Pat has water tonight.
Woo!
All right.
Cranberry juice and...
All right, now, Sherry, don't cut up too much.
Is it the light or the dark? Let us know.
Okay, that works. What's in your cup, Nicole Lyric? You know you're on here. Yes.
Nicole Lyric, what's in your cup? What's in your Mindful Monday Martin Luther King cup?
There you go. Dedicating it to the King, Martin Luther King, because he was such a phenomenal man, civil rights leader, a minister. He really helped move the civil rights movement, so we want to make sure that we honor that. We are so grateful. We probably wouldn't be able to sit here today doing what we do had it not been for him and a lot of others. Don't get us wrong. We know that there are countless other civil rights leaders, present day, and even, you know, past day. We have a lot of people that have helped us to try to have more equality in this United States of America of ours. So we recognize that. But today, it is Martin Luther King Day, so we want to dedicate the show to Martin Luther King.
Woo woo! Yes. So what we're going to start with is some, well, you know what? Before we start, you know, I think I'm going to do a little piece for you guys, you know. So we're going to do a little something, something.
Awesome.
You know? Do a little something, something. So for those of you who don't know, I am a world-renowned, talented, powerhouse spoken word artist. So I'm going to do this piece called I See. You can actually find I See on YouTube, Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music. Yeah, so wherever you listen to your music, type in K Ham Speaks and you can hear this piece. It's called I See. Ready?
Yes.
Let's do it. I see pictures painted with toe tags for bodies in black bags. But there are no tissues for the tears cried, no handcuffs for the stolen lives. Who stole their life? Now I have questions like, who's next? Am I? And why are we blind to who next in line? We try and rewrite the lines, but words are our weapon. There is power in the message. cries drowns the dying hope inside, and the victims say it with their eyes. My soul won't be the sacrifice. No, my soul won't be the sacrifice. But truth is, killing us all. No, truth is, we're killing us too. Because the vote for silence places my freedom in asylum. No, I don't bite them. Images you copy and paste for our liberty were hashtags for peace and serenity replaces hashtags. Please remember me. Please remember me. Please remember me. Because I don't want to be another victim. My brother don't want to be another victim. My sister don't want to be another victim. So we put our hands up. I surrender. But I swear, I can see the image of a heartless evil outlined in these contradictions, framed with questions that demand answers, but the details require our attention. So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by the colors portraying the victim's lives in distorted images, manipulating illusions while we strive to create a clear resolution, but to the problem, there's no real solution. And if history repeats, we can't sleep. I must seek the truth with a black light. Black lives matter that I must repeat, because glaring off our screens screams a deception. See, you can paint a picture if you have some paint and brushes. Obscure the lines, blur the vision, prepare the mind to accept conditions when the mind has no limits. Now, there's bloodshed. Blood spread on my hands, and I'm guilty too, because I brought into the image I was cropped into. Failed to see the details of the bigger picture. Not doing nothing is my best intentions. Silence will sharpen your vision when you listen. To be the difference, but doing nothing is the same as pulling the trigger. So while they talk, I'm listening. Comprehension shows a liar when he's shifting, unless he's a beast, cold on the inside, because his heart doesn't. I see.
Awesome.
I see. And for those of you who just joined, that was a spoken word piece called I See
by K Ham.
K Ham Speaks. So thank y'all. Thank y'all. Hope you liked it.
I loved it, of course.
Wonderful.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Very
Pat's
powerful.
Hair Palace. Appreciate that. I seen Sheena join us in the room. Hey, Sheena. Hey, everybody. This is Mindful Mondays with K Ham Speaks in.
Necee.
And we're talking about MLK, the one and only Martin Luther King.
Yes.
So today we're going to talk about a few quotes, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Wonderful.
So we would also like for you to drop in the comments if you have one of your favorite, if you have a favorite MLK quote or a favorite something you've heard him say or something you've seen him do, just any MLK moment that you'd like to share with us, please drop that in the comments. We are so interested. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read one of his quotes, which he has many insightful things that he said, and then we're going to kind of talk about it. We want you to drop in the comments your thoughts on the quote as well. How does it hit you? How does it relate to you also? So this one I find very interesting here. It says, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. So how does that hit you? What does that strike you as? And I think it's very insightful. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
Yes.
What does that speak to you, K Ham?
I feel like darkness, the negative energy, hate, all of that darkness cannot drive out darkness. I feel like it only can beget darkness, But then when you say only light can do that, I mean, if you just look at it in the simplest of form, you look at it in the universe, right, where the stars get out in space.
Okay.
The only thing that can drive out that dark void is for a light to be present.
That's good.
So then when we think of darkness can't drive out darkness, hate can't drive out hate, evil, so the evil cycle of evil cannot drive out evil.
Right.
Only love, which is light, can do that.
Okay, so to put it in a simple, tangible example, let's say that hate can't drive out hate. So somebody does something to you that you don't like. I ain't gonna say you hate them,
right?
But you don't like them, right? So how do we rectify that? You can't rectify that by doing that same thing to them.
True.
because hate gonna drive. You got to do something different to show them that you love them, which is so hard to do. When somebody do something that you don't like, oh, they do it to me, they better be able to take it.
Yeah.
I think it's a typical response.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like, okay, they did that to me and I didn't like it.
Right.
So why would I do it to them? You know, I'm not going to do that same thing. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do what I wish they would have done to me, which is love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it that easy, y'all?
It's not that easy. You know why it's not that easy?
Why?
That's why the dogs were sicked on people during segregation and civil rights. That's why the water hose was sprayed on them, because it wasn't easy. That was pure evil. To beat a man down until he probably don't even know his name in that moment. That's sheer evil. Right. All because you ain't like something he did. And that's why I feel like Dr. King's life was very strong, because you push me, I'll push you back. Don't touch me, you know. But it was, you push me, I ain't gonna push you back because I know you did. I know it's anger right now. I'm gonna love you because of what I know you can be in the future. That takes discipline. That ain't nothing to me. There is nothing easy about that.
I agree. There isn't, because he was, you know, his movement was nonviolent. Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. So and it's hard now. It's hard, to be nonviolent against someone when they're violent against you. Like, you spit on me, I'm gonna spit on you. I'll beat your butt one, because that's just nasty. But I think it really does take a real strong person to let someone spit on them and they don't do nothing about it. Yeah. They don't respond in the typical way, which I say typical way would be to retaliate and do the same thing to them. Yeah. But if you just like, oh, okay, all right, I love you. I don't know about that.
That's deep. I was working like my Cox days. So this was like, 6 years ago when I worked for the radio station. We were in an office and we had that same scenario. It was about 8 of us and we posed that same question. Okay. If somebody spit in your face, I'm talking about a good one, reach back down in the throat. How would you respond? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let me ask you this. How, in your opinion, how should you respond?
I don't know till a minute. You can't ask me that.
Not how you're going to respond, how you think a person should respond.
I still don't know, because I don't know how you should respond, because it's content and context behind that spit. Okay. And I don't know how you should respond. There's no one right answer. I don't think so. I don't think there's no one right way. Okay. There is definitely no one right way. You can take probably 4 left turns to get to the right and go, but I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? That's deep. How about you? Like, somebody spit in your face.
I'm like you. I don't know how I would respond. Yeah. But how I probably should respond. Right. I mean, once the spit is there, ain't nothing you can do about it. Like, the germs.
And it's sitting there and it got that slow.
Now, I am going to wipe it off. That's going to be the first thing I do, because I don't want it on my skin. So I'm going to wipe it off. But then what I'm going to do with that person in front of me that did that, I don't know what I'm going to do. But probably what I should do is walk away.
Who? Walk away? All the way?
Yes.
Turn around.
Every now and then. But no, I'm saying, because darkness, I can't do something else dark to them because they did something dark to me. I have to try. I should have that. Like, I'm not saying that's what I'm going to do. I'm saying that's probably what I should do.
But, you know, it makes me think of, we always say Obama cool. She likes to say Obama smooth because he has great character and he's poised in many circumstances. Yes. So it makes me think of that, Obama cool. I don't think Obama would just walk away, or Martin. I actually think that has some intellectual words that will gut check you and make you feel like, do I even know my name? Because I think, you know, though you may not respond violently, just don't mean I ain't gonna not respond.
Right, that don't mean I'm not gonna respond. Right. So when I say walk away, you're right. Not just walk away, but I'm not gonna retaliate that way. Now, if there's a way I can sue them, right, I would take them to court, or maybe I would somehow try to get them prosecuted for assault. I don't know. Yeah. But to retaliate to them the same way they did me, no. I wouldn't spit back on them. I wouldn't. I shouldn't. I ain't gonna say I wouldn't, but I'm just probably saying I shouldn't.
You shouldn't. But to me, the person that gets spit on and doesn't spit back and takes the high road, you are so what do you call it, disciplined and so above this.
But I think it's different. Like you said, though, you made a good point. There's a difference in not doing nothing and then doing the smart thing.
Yeah.
Okay, because not doing nothing, I don't agree with that. Because
right.
That just means people can spit on you everywhere and you ain't gonna do nothing, no time, and you just a pushover. No.
Right.
But how I retaliate should be intellectually.
Yeah.
Not emotionally.
When you said
to
not to retaliate at all or not to do nothing at all, it reminds me of one of Dr. Luther King's speeches, I believe. Mm-hmm. And he said, one of the worst things to do is to know good and not do good at all. So it makes me think of that. And in my piece, I put silent is the same thing as pulling the trigger.
Right.
And I feel like that because when I was challenged, like during the Trayvon Martin, I'm gonna say era, but I don't mean it lightly. But during that time, we lived in Orlando at that time, so it was close to home, and it made me think: how I use my voice and my life to be the difference that I want to be, and that's really what birthed that piece. But I say that to say, like, we got a job and a responsibility to use our voice and to use our light when we see injustice or an evil happening, to be a person to say, oh, I'm a good person, I'm a child of God, and you don't use the armor God gave you to fight the battle. Why you got the armor? It's like giving somebody a gun in a war and you don't shoot it at all. I just use my fist. Well, get a gun to somebody that need it. Right. Why do you have the tool or the weapon if you're not gonna use it?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
And what I say is that, and I agree with you, we should use the weapon, but we should use it the right way.
Right, for sure.
For good, not for evil.
And I think the right way takes time and discipline. I don't think, not the right way. I do think the right way takes discipline. And I think some of us, nobody's perfect. We're all humans with our own emotion and feelings. It definitely takes mastering your emotions and feelings.
There you go. Yes, absolutely.
And I think that's all in your mind. But if you feed your mind, oh, I'm going to beat this tail and I'm going to do, well, then when it comes down, but if you feed yourself the higher road when nobody's watching, then when it happens, it happens subconsciously. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. You have to train yourself to behave how you want to behave.
Right.
And a lack of training, you're not going to get a trained response. You're going to get an emotional, because I think we all are emotional beings. I think
are we all though?
I think we're emotional. At least for me,
yeah.
I'm emotional, and I have to train myself to not be emotional. And I ain't going to say not be emotional, but to control my emotions.
I get you.
There you go. Because I am going to be emotional. But I have to train myself to control my emotions, especially in those moments which drives out those emotions.
Yeah.
Right? Because you got to think smart, right? You don't want to do something out of emotions that may land you in a bad situation.
Right.
That's not smart.
Nope.
So that's what I'm trying to say in a nutshell.
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Sherry said, I dream that one day my kids will be judged by the contents of their character, not by the color of their skin.
That's a great one.
I love that. And I like the contents of their character. I like that.
Do you think we're there?
We have met, okay. I know this may be an ongoing conversation. Me, not being in the political world like that, but just, I feel like we have made great progress and great strides. And I feel like in certain environments and places, that isn't looked at, but then there is still racism. There is still hatred. There are still people that hate. There's still people that
because of the color of us because of the color of our skin.
And you may go to a particular place now, today, and you may feel that you're judged by the color of your skin.
And by the way, if that has happened to you, put it in the comments. We'd like to know more. If you've gone somewhere and just because of the color of your skin is why you were treated a certain way, tell us about that. How did that make you feel? How did you handle it? What did you learn from it? Very interested in that.
And that's really good, especially in today's time. I mean, if you guys have, please let us know that. I want to talk about that.
All right.
Shakira said, "Hey Sky,
hey,
she
Sky.
finally made it. Hey
yes,
girl,
we're glad you're here." Pat Hallis said they were trained in West Virginia at a center on how to respond.
On how not to respond.
On how not to respond.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Thank you for joining, Sky.
I can see that. Not see that, but when she said they were trained at a center on how not to respond, I like the key word train.
Yeah.
Train. You gotta be trained. We got good in us and we got evil in us, but which one you training?
That's true.
I like that.
Which one are you training?
Yeah, what are you training? You training your evil, the contents of your character for evil or for good?
And I think training, when we say training, you got to think about, like, how would I train my good side? How would I train my evil? It's a matter of the mind. What are you thinking? What are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself, man, if they hit me, I'm going to knock it out of them? You really training your evil.
Right.
You training that side to do just what you said you're going to do.
But then you
and if you get in that situation, that's just what you're going to do. But that has consequences.
But you're training it to be like them. Because if something like you initially opened it.
Yes.
If someone's doing an evil to you, do you do the same evil back? And if
you're no better than them.
And I believe, I think this was King's point. You get nowhere with that. We get nowhere. We're going to constantly be in war. And war is something that is an evil that tears us down, just as racism. You get what? So the nonviolent way allows us to come to the table with our disagreement, to the table of reason, until we can come to an understanding.
And it's okay, I think, to have disagreements.
I think it's healthy.
We're all not going to all agree on everything and be in this, unity of like, hey, everybody thinks the same thing. But it's how we handle it. Some people actually get mad at you and upset at you because you disagree with them.
And see, I don't believe that, because I believe we're meant to disagree.
Right.
That's the whole point of how you get to new ahas, new hypothesis, or how you test theories and things like that. What good is, I know this may not seem like it makes sense, but what good is calling God your savior if he never saved you from nothing? You have to go through the test and the trial to be made to know he is a savior for yourself. Right.
That's good.
So if we don't disagree, me and you disagree, that don't make you not my mama on love you no less. But once
you start talking to me for 3 days.
I'm gonna start talking to she ain't agree with me. She ain't supposed to agree with you. You ain't got my
It's
mind.
okay, y'all.
Yeah. And that's the close I came from you. So the person you come from may not agree with you. So,
Hey, Londa. Hey, BFF.
Londa.
Thank you for joining.
Hey, yes. But I think disagreement is healthy. I think it is a part of life, just as if death is a part of life. It has to happen. If you were born, you must die.
Yeah.
No, we don't want it to happen. Yes, it's sad when it does. But if that thing human has fulfilled their purpose, what you said about it, in essence. So then when you disagree, it has to be, if the disagreement has fulfilled its purpose to get us to a better solution.
But that's the point. You got to get to the better solution. But I can't get to the better solution with you if you're going to display anger.
Then we get nowhere. But then it's like a kid that can't have their way, that throws a tantrum.
Right.
We ain't getting nowhere.
Right.
But now we ain't kids.
Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever been the one that displayed that anger?
Absolutely.
Okay. I think we all have. I know I have.
I thank God it was around in the bush and that anger ain't let me somewhere I shouldn't have been. But man, absolutely. I'll be honest and candid. Like, I ain't gonna say it like that. Watch what you say, your own live, child. I've had to work on the contents of my character. I've been challenged where I've had to work on things that I'm not good at, but my drive is I want to be better. I can't be like this all the time.
Right.
And when it happened, you do the thing, you get mad. Then when you reflect, you're mad that you act like that.
Yeah.
But every time you see it, it gets you closer to being better.
I think you said a key thing is you recognize you reflect upon it.
Yeah.
Some people don't even think about how they act to even know that they don't even want to get better.
Right.
Getting better is not even a thought as a person, right?
Right.
Some people, I think, just want to be right. Right. So if you just, man, I want to be right versus, man, I need to get better at how I handled that.
Right.
That's the most important thing to do. Not the fact of who's right or wrong. But how did I handle that situation? Could I have listened more? Am I always the one talking instead of listening? Am I thinking of what I want to say next before they finish talking? Right. Therefore, I don't even, I'm not listening. Heard nothing they said. Because when you get through talking, I go back with my same thought. Yeah. Or I say something that you said something that would address what I said. Yeah. But because I didn't hear you, I say something that lets me know you didn't hear me.
Yeah. But then listening is a part of how we get to the table of understanding. How you have to imagine if Dr. Martin Luther King didn't listen to nobody in the White House when he went, nobody to seminary, missionary school, nobody when he went to, was it Morehouse?
He just talk his point but not listen. You can't.
You have to, that's how we learn. That's how you observe. That's how somebody talking, you want to know how they feel, just let them keep talking. Let them keep talking. If you're listening, you know exactly where they are.
You don't even have to ask them.
No.
Because if you're listening, you can tell.
But then, like you say, that's the thing. To listen, I took a listening class in college, and this has always stayed with me. Dr. Baumler. He said, listening is when somebody's speaking to you, you got to treat it as if what they're giving you is a precious gift. And if you try to speed past it, if you try to think about your list or think about what you're going to say, you're going to miss that precious gift. And our words, being that it's coming from wherever it's coming from, it's something I want you to hear. It's meaningful to you. Well, I can't get that meaning if I don't take the time to listen to it, and you be done miss what the person said. You know, you be thinking, well, I wonder what's wrong with this person. Well, if you would have listened to him 10 minutes ago, they would have told you. Right. You know, but listen and treat it as if what that person is giving you is a precious gift. Or if you wanted a diamond ring or a necklace, treat that like it's that thing, and you'll care more when they speak. Right, because if you, and to treat it like a gift, mean it's gonna have your full attention. Right. Right. One thing I can't stand is talking to somebody and I feel like they're not paying me any attention. That's a quick way for me to hang up and walk away. I'm really gonna be like done with the conversation. Yeah. Or if you're talking to someone and you say something of significance, and then they come back and say something about them. They never address what you just said. Right. That means, I just told you I had my right arm cut off. You telling me about you want to tell me what you made for lunch yesterday or today. It's like you didn't hear me. Yeah, because then are you okay? Is what's your spirit? That lets me know you heard me. Right. Oh wow, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Are you okay? Versus, well, girl, I tell you, when I went down there to that. Wait a minute, I just said something important and you didn't even recognize that do make you not want to be vulnerable and open up to that person, because for me, when I speak and it's as if you didn't hear me, it's like you slammed the door on my face. Yeah. Now here we go. We go back to that darkness of darkness, because you done slammed the door on my face. I'm going to kick it back down and kick you with it, but you can't do that. Correct. But what makes me want to do that is my feelings and my emotions. I feel like you now have just negated them when I was being vulnerable to share it with you. You made it seem like they didn't matter, but they matter to me. Now, see, they don't matter to you. I won't give you that gift anymore. Correct. The gift of my vulnerability. So now when you talk to me, you're gonna notice a different. She changed. Right. Your behavior. Caused me to change. Yeah. So when someone change on you, look at your behavior. Yeah. Don't be asking them what's wrong with them. Go back and what's wrong with you? Analyze. Well, the last time we talked, what happened? Yeah. You probably didn't listen to them. You was just talking. Let's listen to each other. For sure. So I know we went on some tangents on that quote. Hey, that's okay. But I think that was a good one. I see Londa has a comment here. Okay, go ahead. And she said, he had a dream. It took a lot of people to help him feel this dream. Yeah, we still feeling it today, for sure. Like, and I think in him having this dream, he knew, like, he wouldn't necessarily he was the, how you call it, pioneer, the starter.
Okay.
He wouldn't be the one to necessarily finish it.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Because we're still living his dream. We're still trying to get to the
promised land.
The
promised land, where justice and love, you know, is justice and it's love. It's not an injustice. It's not, we're not treating people ill-humane or throwing them away as if the dogs and the cats are better than a human race of people, you know, or stripping them from their truths and their power so that they can be stuck or trapped in a repeated evil cycle, you know, because like the movie Alice, when it was 1970s, obviously slavery had been abolished by then.
Right.
In this plantation, they didn't know that.
Wow.
So in 1970, and if y'all seen the movie Alice, you still got people living thinking they in slavery. True story.
Wow.
True story. And what I say that to say, they didn't know they was free because they kept having babies and it kept being born into it. Kept being, but so the cycle kept repeating because they didn't know no better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just feel like until you get to, his mission was get into justice and get into love, where we can live in brotherly love.
So we are all still trying to fulfill that.
Heck yeah.
And it may not even be for us. It may be for generations behind us, right, to get to that point. But you know, as you mentioned, we have come a ways from how it used to be. So we continue to drive forward. Yes, yes. All right, let's look at another one of Dr. King's quotes. He says, "Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase." And what are your thoughts on that one?
You don't have to, you don't got to know everything. Just trust. If you see the whole staircase, you don't got to know the details. You don't got to work it out. You just got to know, once I hit this first step, I'm going to get to the end. And I believe that. You know what I'm saying? I trust that.
You know, you already got the victory.
Yeah.
But you have to take the first
you got to
step.
go through these trials.
You got to keep doing what you can do to get to those steps. So if there's anyone out there that has done something on faith, like you didn't see the whole picture, you didn't have all of it together, but you went ahead and took that first step, let us know about that.
Yeah.
Drop it in the comments.
If you say that one more time, if you
have done something on faith, let us know. If you took that first step, even though you didn't have the whole plan, you didn't know how it was, you didn't know what the next step was going to be or what the next thing was going to be, but you did take that first step. We want to know, what was that? And then how did it work out for you? Did everything end up okay? So let us know if you took that first step. How did it work out for you? It's what we want to know. Taking the first step. And let me just repeat Dr. King's quote. He said, faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase, which can be a scary thing because you don't see the whole staircase, but you took that first step. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And you got to have faith to know the next step is going to be fine too. You're not going to fall.
Not going to fall. He'll never leave nor forsake you.
There you go.
So what have you done by faith? What's something you've done by faith?
Wow, that's a great question. I've done some things by faith. I think, trying to think, what have I done? I really just, my whole career, I would say, has been by faith, you know, because, you know, I was fortunate enough to, you know, go to college, although what my degree is in is not what I ended up working in, right? But I did that. I took that first job and saying, okay, I don't know if I can do this, but I know that I felt that God wasn't going to lead me astray. And sure enough, he kept giving me the skills and abilities and things that I need to get the job done, even in small things, and I call it small, but, you know, I had this project and there was this person at work that knew how to do it. They knew how to use the system. They knew the project, but I didn't feel comfortable asking them because it made me feel like I didn't know anything. They made me feel dumb. I'm like, I'm not going to ask him, but Like he was the only one. And when I tell you, I was up all night trying to figure this thing out on my own. I was in tears. I was honestly crying out to God, saying, Lord, I just don't know. I can't get it. I can't get it to work. I can't do it. And then bam, you know, before daylight came, I had done. That wasn't nothing but God, because I did not know what to do. I did not know how to manipulate this system, but I figured it out. And it just like started coming to me. Oh, you know, now go and do this, and it worked. It wasn't nothing but God, because I did not know. I did not have the education to do it. So I mean, like I said, even with things like that, you just continue to believe, continue to have faith. My whole career, from this job to that job to that job, has been led by Christ. Honestly, you know, some of the things I'm like, well, I know I'm going to interview, I'm going to try, but I don't think I'm going to get it. And you get it.
You got it.
Man, God is good.
Nothing but God.
That gotta be. Gotta be. It ain't me. It's gotta be.
Pastor Parapelli said, well, what she's done by faith is when she opened her first salon.
See? Wow, you took that first step. And she's Hair Palace now.
It is.
Okay.
Yep.
So obviously
it has
that
been
worked.
For what, 30-some years?
Yeah, that worked, and that was successful, and but God, I mean, it's that faith. You know, like he said, you taking that first step, but you don't even see the whole staircase. You don't have to have it all figured out. That's what faith is, because you don't have it all figured out. You don't even know what the next step may even be. But you got faith that, man, if I just do it, I can do this one step. And if I just go ahead and do that step, it's going to be okay. I got the victory in Christ.
Yeah, you got the victory in Christ. And I think about Dr. Martin Luther King's life, like, it just, when you say taking that first step, I have to imagine, man, once he decided to hit the trail and run it, I forget, was it 55, I believe, y'all?
1955.
Right? So 55, when he took took it and ran. It was 2 years later when he took his first international trip. You got to be balling. Think about if you open your own business and you do anything, even for speakers. I'm spoken word artist. Okay, bam. I do my first show, second, 2 years. If I'm international, you making noise.
Well, yeah,
you making noise. By the end of his career, he did 2,500 speeches.
Wow.
That's almost like a person that's an artist that do concerts. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say, I'm quite sure on day one, he did not see
all the greatness.
He knew it was tough work ahead, but not knowing the details of how it would go, the details of the monumental task and accomplishment that they'll achieve on the way, he still knew he had to take that first step and do something.
And he did. And, and God will definitely take.
And that's a great I know there are many names in history that have fought for the human rights, civil rights, my rights.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
But on this day of honoring him, it's just amazing when you really stop and look at the life work. He worked.
Right.
He worked.
Right.
By the time he said, I step into this, he worked.
And it takes work for anything you want. I feel like you have to have sacrifices to get what you want where you go. It ain't gonna come easy. That's just not how life is. So you definitely gotta do the work and have faith. Okay, you want to tackle one more quote?
Let's do it.
All right. He says so many good ones, but I'm gonna go with this one. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. So
I like that.
Again, what are some of your thoughts out there around that? How do you feel about that? Again, and I think that's great too. I'll just tell you that, I mean, when you're comfortable, it's easy, right?
Right.
There's no challenge there. That doesn't test your true character.
Right.
But when there's controversy, the real you finna come out now. And what is that real you, right?
Yep.
So
and if that real you has never been tested, then when the trial comes, how do you know how you will excel?
Correct.
Or do? So it takes the test that we go through daily, the little nuances, the things that aggravate us to make us better, to sharpen us. So when the trial comes, we can
handle it.
with grace.
Appropriately. Yeah. Like you said, the ultimate measure of a man, that's what we're measured by, is how we handle things in moments of controversy.
Yeah.
Not when everything is going good.
And because, man, because you really, your emotions and feelings at that point, it's almost like you in the game real time. You know, you was in the gym, you was practicing, you was going through these scenarios, but then when the real time comes,
game time,
you do get the ball stolen. Do you hustle back on defense? We're talking about basketball, the greatest sport. When do you hustle back on defense, or do you put your shoulders down and let him?
Or do you give up like that?
Not only steal the ball, but then make a 3-pointer off of it, and then go to the free throw line. Yeah. You know, so it's like you say, how do you handle yourself in the middle of controversy? And I think my takeaway from that is the only thing that could test that, or the only thing to try that is to go through the test.
Which is why we have these, what we call tribulations and trials, because it's going to let us know if are we ready for the next level of whatever it may be, wherever you're trying to plateau to, are you ready for that next level? And if you can't handle this little small controversy, I ain't going to say small, but this controversy at this level, you're not ready. You ain't passed the test yet to go to the next level.
No, it's some stuff in my life right now. Personally, like you said, personally, mentally, things. And I know it's a test. And I know I've been doing, how long we been in this God? About 6 years. I know I've been, and you just keep etching away, and we can't see everything and understand everything. And I think that's why we got to depend on our community, our loved ones, the people who you got in your circle you got to hear somebody to help you be better, in the right trusted source to help you be better, to help guide you.
And then just think too, who tells you what no one else will tell you? Who tells you, girl, you did that right there, but that was jacked up. Yeah. You shouldn't have did it like that. I mean, if you got people telling you, oh yeah, girl, that's good, you should have did it. They not helping you. Right. Because all of us need that person that's going to tell us something to make us better. Absolutely. And tell us when we're wrong. Look, you were out of line, you were out of character, you just dead wrong. You should have did that. You need that person. And if you don't have that, if you have all yes people around you, new crew. Yeah, they're not helping you, is what I can say. I don't think. Or they're not helping you and you don't want to be helped, or don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Yeah. But I think I had a favorite quote. I have a favorite quote. What's your favorite? And I probably am not going to remember it. I don't remember it. What was it about? Remember what it was about? I don't. But that's okay. Mm-hmm. The one I'll go with is, love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. Mm. Maybe that's why the Lord told us to love thy neighbor. What is love your enemy? Right? Pray for you. Pray. Okay, good. He didn't say it. Don't just kidding. That could be wrong too. Yeah, but love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. That's deep, because that is really, really deep. Because what I would say is, if I have an enemy, I'm really not trying to make them my friend. I don't think, and maybe I should be, but I'm not. But I know I probably should love them because they're God's children, and we should love all of His children, I suppose. But I'm not trying. So see, we all need to work. I ain't there yet, but I'm not trying to make an enemy my friend. But I guess if that enemy has some useful purpose in my life and what I'm trying to accomplish, then I would have a reason to want to try to make them my friend. Now, to play on that a little bit, how would you know what if you don't know they have something? I mean, if they have a particular expertise that I may need, and I know them and I don't really like them, but I do know that I need an attorney to help me with X, Y, Z. Yeah. Then maybe let me see if I can, salvage whatever with this person. But you said don't really like me. I think that, and I ain't, I'm just going in right here. The enemy is beyond a don't like. I feel like an enemy tries to tear you down, cause you harm. It's more than just don't like me. You know what I'm saying? That's good. I feel like an enemy tries to set you up for destruction. So, and then and if I understand Martin correctly, he said if you love them, that can change them. Love can turn them into your friend. He didn't say love them. He just said love
is the only force capable. But see,
maybe that's love from God.
it's definitely God's love. It's most certainly not mine. It's definitely the love of the Lord.
We're just talking, y'all. We just
Yeah,
talking.
it's definitely the love from God.
Theological.
Yeah. But when they say love is the only force capable, if we're thinking about everything is an energy, you know, and everything, and spirit, whatever. Love is the only.
When they get love in their heart, which would make them less of an evil person, or less of a dark person, then they will be able to display love to others.
Yep.
And become my friend because I like loving friends.
Yep. Loving friends. I think Hardhead said, or your enemy can be your best friend. Got to elaborate on that, Hardhead. Your enemy can be your best friend. You know,
they have that love.
But this, going with that, okay, this is beautiful. If your enemy did not start off as your best friend, and love is the only force capable of making an enemy a friend, you may have been sent because you're the only one that will give love to them, because it takes love to love an evil person. It takes love to love a selfish person. It takes love to love a talkative person. It takes love to love an envious person. Okay, all right. But no, for real, because love, like they said, love above all. Love above all things. When you can love somebody through something, that's everything. That's a life raft, man. That's a life raft.
That's good.
For real. And I think that's the power. And that's what I think, even with what we just said, you know, with God's love, I think that's true. You can't, God so loved the world. Not Kenise so loved the world. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even know me if it wasn't for the love of God.
True. So
I think that when he like to say that is not to say, I think that's where we get it twisted. When he say to love is the only person. It ain't saying to be nice and be, I ain't gonna say nice, like nice and like, hey, can I fix your plate? Nah, bro, just love them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Love them where they are. And sometimes love isn't always giving them a flower or a gift. Love is tough. Love is kind. Love is patient.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you display those things, when you're patient with your enemy, and you know they lying, and you know they setting you up, and you know you can see it, but you got patience,
right?
And you got peace.
Yes,
that's lovable.
I like that.
Because you couldn't even have peace of patience without love.
That's good. That's deep. That's a layer deeper than what I was thinking, but that's good.
I just had to specify for myself that, you know, love don't mean, you know,
being nice.
What? Nice, but like Drake say, nice for what? Too nice for.
All right, K. Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah. My last wrap up.
Okay.
Real quick. My last wrap up.
Take your time.
Is that I just, if we're reflecting and honoring the life of Dr. Martin Luther King, I think it is a beautiful example. His life is definitely a beautiful example. First of all, let me just add, I started off doing oratory. If y'all ever read his speeches, his letter to Birmingham, he read them pastors and preachers. He read everybody who had a problem with him in the letter of Birmingham. You want to really have a good read? That's a good read. But he was so witty with words. He really, like he said, why use my fist in my hand when I got my words, when I got my voice? And I think that is so powerful for me because I like to use my voice, but you got to know how to use it. You got to be disciplined. Like Pat Sarah Palace said, they were trained. You got to be willing to be taught, to teach, to grow into your greatness.
That's good.
And he wasn't there by himself. He didn't march by himself. He wasn't right in arm by. He had somebody to confide in. He had people who had to hold him accountable and be held accountable. And this is for me. But this is what I got for his life is your purpose ain't just about you, bro.
That's good, K Ham.
So you got to be listening to hear somebody because they can see what you can't see. And like my father always tell me, I'm ahead of you. I got years on you. I can see what you can't see. But I can see, but I can see what you can't see.
That's good because I've been there. I've been here longer than you. Yeah. That's good.
And to just to be disciplined in your gift and to be disciplined in your life. And whatever you do, stand boldly and firm in it. And that's what I took from his life. But I also just want to highlight on the non-violent piece. And like he said, that's a way of life, because there were so many other leaders at his time, like Malcolm X, who thought different. You know what I'm saying?
By any means necessary.
What get it done.
Yeah, well.
But what's beautiful is, like Martin said, these are our brothers and our sisters. And though you're in hell right now, I'm not dealing with you in your hell now. I'm dealing with you from years ahead, which you can't even see.
Boy, that's good, Kay.
No, that was Martin. That just
thank you, Martin, too, Kay.
And I'm just like,
I like that.
That's so beautiful for me. And like when we go back to the love piece, it's helping me because I'm working on mastering my emotions and my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Correct. You can't bring them to a business deal.
There you go.
And that's how Martin, what if he would have been all in his emotions and feelings?
They wouldn't have heard
You couldn't have stood there in front of that president.
No.
You couldn't have stood there in front of him knowing who his true nature is, but you still had to shake his hand. You still had to have a meeting with him. You still had to eat with him.
That's good.
Because the purpose was bigger than Martin.
It's bigger than him. Absolutely.
And I think the fight still continues today.
And then too, we are Martins. You know what I'm saying? Don't think that, oh, well, that's Martin Luther King. No, the same impact he had on this world, you may bust out any moment and have even a greater impact if it's in you. If you have that, if you called for that, and you got to walk in that calling, do so, you know? And that's why we talk about these things on Mondays, because again, as K Ham said, she and I have these talks all the time.
Right.
It was like, hey, let's include more people in these talks. Because it helps us as an individual. It helps us to kind of reevaluate ourselves, to look at ourselves. Are we living in our purpose? You know? Are we doing the right things to polish ourselves, to sharpen ourselves, so that we can walk and do the things that God would have us do according to his will, not ours. And sometimes what you're doing is bigger than you. Most times it's not about you. It's about those around you. It's about those that you are called to help, those that you are called to comfort and counsel. It ain't about you. And I, you know, we talked about this before on the previous show. Stop making everything about you. When someone comes and they will ask to speak to you, don't you lead the conversation. Why are you talking? They ask to speak to you. Listen. You know, you have, I'm sure all of us have great wisdom. We have great experiences that we had. If we listen to what they're going through, we can say something to that, but listen first. And maybe not even say it right then in that moment, because maybe they need to get it out. They ask to speak to you. Remember that. If someone call you on the phone, can you say hello and then let them, what they call you for? You start talking right away before they I'll forget what I called for, because you weren't listening when they called you. They call you. So anyway, I just had to say that.
I like that. Listen, they called you. It ain't about you.
It's not.
It's not. If Martin had made this whole thing about him, and he wouldn't have listened to this when you say listen, if he would have sat in the classes, the same schools, the same rooms as his oppressor, and he would not have listened, he might have died before his time. But because he had to listen, there's no way he went through that and did. And I say that to say, because his task was so monumental and big. His life has started and ended, and we are still celebrating. He would have been in his 90s. So time has passed. So listen, because when you get to that future moment, you can't undo that.
That's good.
So take your time in the now, or take the time you need in the now, like you say, to hear people, to hear the solution in the problem.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? That's
good. There's definitely a lot of layers to this. And so we do appreciate everyone for helping us and coming on and listening to us and celebrating Martin Luther King Jr., a phenomenal person. Not to say that he's the only phenomenal person, but he is one of them. I know there are others. I'm sure there are some phenomenal people that are listening to us right now. You guys are. We all are. So let's just take our greatness and continue to do great things with that.
Absolutely.
Okay,
with that said, I like it. Take your greatness and continue to do great things with them. You're already great. As the world of my Primerica family say, you are already great. Go out and make somebody else great.
All right, and we had a few more people to join. I just want to Shout out, I think that's Breen Nichols. And we have Barbara Luter Dudley on. Thank you for joining as well.
Hey.
And we appreciate everybody. I think Hardhead joined us. So I think we have called out everybody that has joined Mindful Mondays this week. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for saying. We look forward to speaking with you next week on another great topic. And continue to like, share, comment, and subscribe on YouTube as well.
Yep.
Yes.
Until next week.
Hey.